Good morning. This is Dr. Mia Luth. It is approximately 9:05 a.m. Eastern Time, New York, USA, and it is the 27th of June, 2026. And I had a long night, and because of my medical situation, it means I'm going to have a couple very difficult days, and that is starting to hit me right now. So, I don't have time to BS around. The NHL draft is occurring, so I'm trying to keep track of that. Go Jets. I know that at some point, like some of the Jets fans who are it's like they're not seeing it yet, and that's okay because they will, and they will change their minds eventually. Some of them they will understand why I am saying what I'm saying, and it's okay. So when it comes to Jets fandom and hockey fandom, I don't block people unless they're, threatening my life or getting completely belligerent. You understand that? I listen. They're allowed to express. You understand? And, they may not see it or agree with me. Some, know more about certain things, like, right. Me, I have my specialty knowledge and certain things too. So, but I knew, and I'm reiterating it, and so have some others, that definitely not gonna tear down for a rebuild. I mean, that would not be hockey smart at all. And I know that there's some gonna want to push and push and push, but you're wrong in that. You don't see it or understand it the way I do, and I'm just saying that would not be very smart at all. Okay. And you definitely don't want to start over again with a goalie that you pull from the AHL. You understand? I'm not going to get into the whole Hellebuck situation. I am saying, where in the NHL, I mean, wouldn't you want to trade? Like, you want to use his value to bolster the team, and you think that average goalies, right? I mean, you're not seeing it, and it's okay, but I do. So some of them are gonna need to trust me a little. Anyway, I know. I'm like, Stenberg. Yeah, the Sharks. Yeah, when it comes to the Western Conference, I'm like, we're gonna have to contend with the Sharks. Yeah, that's really no joke over there. I know. Anyway, but yeah, we went the Swede way, which is fine with me. I don't know. Like, some of you, your personal thoughts of what you think, but if you're not a U.S. citizen, you may not understand the dynamic. Okay, so some of my Canadian friends is like, lots of people shake the hand of the president who completely disagree with him in every way possible. You understand? We have this situation in this country where you give, due respect, but, we don't just suck up. But it's something is kind of like traditionally the way things happen. So I think some of you took that kind of hard, and you may have a skewed perspective that isn't the same kind of perspective as someone who's in the USA. And I take that with a grain of salt. We don't, you understand? I mean, Canadians, like you guys, after games shake hands with each other, but you may not all agree in how things happen in your country either. It's just a sign of respect. And plus, in the USA, okay, first of all, goalies get disrespected way too much. Okay, I'm not trying to overvalue them. I'm just simply saying that is the history of goaltending in the NHL, and I will not shut up about that. Okay, I sometimes know and like, no, bad goalie, no, you shouldn't have done that, right? Like, that was not smart, and that kind of indicates to me you're kind of an ignorant human being. I mean, I could name a Canadian goalie who, right, is retired, right, who had to have a reckoning when it came to that. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say about the hockey. So, nice surprise. Where I lived, they were doing, Friday night outdoor movie. So, I was out and about much later than I usually am. And then I got home, and there was a Kenny and Rennie live show coming up. Talk about the draft. So, and I started to do that. And then I had trouble falling asleep. And I was up my normal time, I guess. Sometimes I'm up anywhere between like 5:30 and 6:30. And trying to sleep any later just doesn't work for me. So anyway, a little hard on me not to be able to. Right. Well, some of that's fibromyalgia. Anyway, regardless. Alright. Like, this is the time of year where any kind of hockey content, I'm like, what? Oh, we're talking hockey? Okay, goody. What? What's happening? Okay. Hockey. You know, like, this is something, the movie, what's it? Being John Malkovich, is that the name of it? Like Malkovich, or right? I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember what. Yeah, like Malkovich, right? Like me, I'm like, if you find that door and I walk around, hockey, while I'm singing, and maybe even dancing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, it is. Everything reminds me of ice hockey. It just does. Even scripture does. Everything. Like, I hear somebody say something like, but in the background somewhere, I'm like, did you say Dave Andreychuk? I know, they got me. Oh, I know. They tricked me with that Eddie the Eagle movie. What? Eddie the Eagle? Oh, that's not Eddie the Eagle. Okay, that's some guy on skis. Alright, good for you. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, good for ski guy, but that's not Eddie. Right. Now, Eddie the Eagle's different. Okay, goalie, still winter sport. I know, they tricked me. I'm like, oh no, no, the other Eddie the Eagle, what? Anyway, that's kind of how I am. But here, now I'm going to get to my, anybody who follows me and actually watches these, and there are very few of you. Okay, well, I appreciate it. I know some of the males I've indicated, Wood is good. Alright, that's great. Well, when it comes to like ice hockey sticks, I know. Well, like I'm thinking goalie sticks, so I'm still good with wood, But in certain circumstances, wood is good. I'm like, well, I'm glad I inspire you in that fashion. Anyway, I appreciate my followers, and I have a very wide variety of mixed content, simply because I have to kind of like make things easier for myself. I'm sure my life's been shortened by a great deal, but I appreciate you, and I know I don't have my pippies up. I took my pippies out. They were tightened, like I had them so tight up there, and I started to hurt. And then I was trying to sleep, and I'm not used to sleeping with like pippy horns, so I yanked them out. And then the 2 or 3 hours of sleep that I got anyway. So enough about all that. I'm unfortunately have a situation where my left shoulder is definitely, I have aggressive osteoarthritis, and so now my right shoulder, I basically need to become titanium. Just shoulder, hip, knee. Surprisingly, my knees are holding out way better than I would have thought. So this is very nice. This is good news. They're not going to last forever. But anyway, so I have now, there may be a tiny fracture in my neck. I'm not really sure. X-rays, blah, 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 all that crap. I gotta go back to physical therapy. One doctor's like, no, we don't suggest chiropractic. Another one, blah, 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 blah. I know, I get all the itises, I get it. Okay. But fibromyalgia is, this is one situation. I try and tell people, I'm like, I can't push myself. You freaking... Why do you not like me? What the fuck part of it? Okay, like, hurt feelings, people. I'm like, okay, just athletes and people like me are just used to being on the go, used to pushing, blah, blah. Okay, that is the hardest part. But those who get newly diagnosed with fibro and are people like that, just trust someone. Okay, I'm 54. I started showing signs of it before 2007. I was diagnosed in 2007. You can't anymore. You can't anymore. I can't stay up late. I get very little rest. Get up the next morning ready to tackle the world, because then you do that and then you're gonna find out you're laid up in bed for a week or more. You can't anymore, everybody. You gotta trust me. Alright, I know this. It's better to know this the very minute you get a diagnosis. Just trust me. If you gotta lose friends, if you gotta tell family members to leave you alone, if you need to tell a boss, okay, well, I'm gonna get my doctor to, you may not. Don't let anybody push you. And unfortunately, you gotta work on breaking the habit immediately of pushing your own selves. Okay? Like, athletes will do this, but other kind too, but you can't. Like, you can't get up at, 5 a.m. and, do a 3-mile run and then take a shower and go to work and be busy all day. it's going to take you down fast. Okay? I don't want that to be a surprise for people newly diagnosed with fibromyalgia. And that is the hardest part if you're like that. Okay? When I tried, and I found out quite a few times the hard way, like, why is this right? Oh, it took me a little while to kind of register, oh, it's because of freaking fibro. And depression can hit you hard because all those things that you were used to doing, you were productive, you're a go-getter, you push your body, like, okay, well, I can handle it, okay, I get it, just, you can't anymore. And it does suck. And for people like pro athletes and people who get paid to be like, you understand, you have to come to terms with this immediately. Okay, you're not special among those of us who have fibro. Trust me when I tell you. Then the depression's gonna hit because you can't do the things you used to do. Start feeling weak. Start feeling like, it might come in like I'm useless or, no good, and I don't, okay, then I might be a burden to people. There's all this bullcrap might come flooding in. Be prepared for the depression too. Okay? Be prepared. Because it's kind of like you basically, your body, you're going to want to push that body, but you're going to end up running into a wall that's not giving you any leeway. You can't push through that wall, okay? So you got to start right away. First thing in the morning, get in the habit of drinking a full glass of water and start looking at ways, okay, to do more stretching than cardio. Okay, your body is, you're gonna have to change a lot about what you do, like heavy weight lifting. It's gonna tear you down quick. Don't be stubborn, please. And don't think that people don't understand, because I do, which is why I'm saying it, particularly to those like in that situation. I mean, it doesn't have to be an athlete, but people know what I mean. A lot of physical activity, things like that, right? But if you like weight lift, if you're a lifter like that, you have to immediately, like, if you need help, someone from the gym, or you pay somebody, or you do research online, you got to start doing more exercises that stretch. Swimming is a much better idea. Okay, more stretching. Okay, you're not going to be able to maintain a bulky physical frame without a lot of pain, without a lot of anxiety, without depression, because fibro's just not going to let you. Okay? So no, you're not going to let it run your lives. But I'm saying this so you can know what to expect and adjust faster and understand what you need to do immediately upon being diagnosed. There are times people aren't going to understand, like, even clothes hurt. Okay, be prepared for people who don't understand when I call you, like you're procrastinating. You don't. Just look at them and say, I hope you never have to go through this. Alright, God bless you. I didn't ask for your advice. Bye. Your opinion is useless. Right? Get in the habit of doing that. Politely and respectfully. Okay? I mean, don't do that. But with words and face, just, okay, you don't really know what you're talking about, and I don't care. I mean, I hope this never happens to you. You might get suicidal with all the guilt of all the people you harassed and bothered. Okay, like wearing a bra, pressure points, for me, it never stops. I have to get the pain shots in my pressure points. Yes, it's the worst. Constant pressure pain, constant. It doesn't go away. Ever. Skin sensitivities that other people don't understand. So I'm saying this so that it doesn't all hit you like a ton of bricks. All these things, they are going to happen, okay? And so to minimize that and to get you ready and to mitigate some of it, so that you know the very moment you're diagnosed, these are things you need to do right away. Start changing your exercises to more stretching, okay, swimming, stop lifting weights, stop pushing your body, like if you have a very muscular frame, it's like, okay, work with some physiologists if you have the ability to do it. If not, do research, or you know what I'm saying, maybe somebody just be willing to help you out. You're gonna want to try and go for like a leaner frame. So, right, no bulking up. Okay, right. There's only so much pain you'll be able to tolerate, and then it'll take you down, and you'll be like down for weeks, if not months sometimes, okay? So know that right away. First thing in the morning, just gulp down a glass of water. Just get in the habit of doing that. Learn to slow down. That's hard. I know. Don't think that you're special, then you'll be able to overcome all of it, because you won't. So you need to know these things the minute you get diagnosed. I'm saying this because I give a crap, and I have it, and I've had it for a while, and there are things that might seem like I have another neurological condition, and these things are like right, so mine are, playing off each other in a not so fun way. But if it's just fibro, hey, right, you might get tremors. Like somebody might touch your arm and it might hurt like hell. People are like, well, you gotta build up your pain tolerance. And say, well, you gotta stop torturing people, or I'm gonna find a way to be further away from you, and maybe you should not be touching people then. Okay? No, it can get that bad. It can. I'm constantly in pain in my shoulders. Always. The pain shots will help at the pressure point, but there are other pressure points, and some of those pain shots, like different doctors, in some cases you can have, like, a rheumatologist might send you for physical therapy, but also to pain management specialists. And let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with seeking pain management. Nothing. Trust me. I'm saying this to you because I care. And if anybody wants to give you a hard time for it, then they don't belong in your life anymore. Okay? Alright? Pressure points at the hips. So, me, I've got sort of a triple whammy. So mine's unique. I have different situations, including aggressive osteoarthritis. But for the fibro, immediately know you are going to have to slow down. But you can start becoming a little more efficient so that you can do things, but you need to take more breaks. Okay? You can't, be up all night and get very little sleep and then get up and go through your day and do the normal things without tanking. It will take you down for a while. You understand? I don't care how tough you are. There are people told me I'm the toughest person they've ever met. So I'm purposefully dismantling my badass reputation to let you know that I don't care how physically or mentally or even spiritually strong you are. These are things that you immediately should start considering. So, I still have struggles all the time. People don't know. People think fibromyalgia is some kind of weird psychosomatic. It's not. It isn't. At all. It's not some fake illness. All those who think that, please, you are not aware. You have no right to foist that uneducated, unaware opinion on anyone, lest it happen to you. I'm talking to physically and even mentally high achievers. Brain fog happens, and that sucks. Okay, so there are some things you can do about that. You can just kind of, you'll start to realize, okay, I need to take a break. And you have to keep giving yourself grace. You gotta keep giving yourself grace. You gotta keep forgiving yourself. You gotta, like, not give yourself a hard time. You gotta allow yourself to rest. You gotta change a lot of the things that you used to think, and you gotta keep putting it in you. It's just, I am managing an illness. I am managing an illness. I am managing people who want to give you shit about it. They don't belong in your life. Even if it's family, keep the communication a little more distant. I mean, you can really not appreciate family sometimes, but here's something. I love you, but you don't understand, and I can't really have certain conversations with you until you do. Okay? So, just know that. You gotta start learning. Give yourself some grace. Don't get hard on yourself. I did that one for a little while. Like, what in the hell's the matter with me? I mean, I'm good for it, and then just blam. Down for the count. Just even trying to, I'm being honest, just even trying to get my leg up and put it on the floor in the morning. Became almost seemingly impossible. So just know, okay, if you're down and out for a little while like that, if it just hits you, here's what you do. You just slowly, see, I got now 2 feet. I slid them, both my feet. Keep your head down, don't sweat it. Give yourself plenty of time, okay? And just slowly but surely, sit up and then rest, okay? It quite literally will take down the toughest among us, okay? If it takes you a half an hour to get your butt up out of bed, okay, to just go to the bathroom and, let the dog out and, fix a little food or coffee or something. You understand what I'm saying to you? That's okay. You will have to slow down. Okay? I'm saying this because you're not alone. I'm saying this because these are some of the things I went through. I'm saying this because nowadays, in 2007, it was really not very well known. Lyrica, my issue is that Lyrica, my chemical sensitivities, Lyrica actually made things worse for me. So, okay, you do, the regular doctor, I think, depending on where you go, can diagnose, but definitely a rheumatologist. And at that point, yes, you likely some type of medication, and it might be in the form of an antidepressant, which actually might help you a little, just in that way, because trust me, if you're used to just getting up and going, if you're used to being physically productive and on the go, and all these things that get brain trained into people, you're gonna have to unbrain train it, and you're gonna run into people who are not going to understand, and oh, excuses, and I'm like, yeah, well, quit talking to yourself in the mirror like that. I mean, a little self-love. Get out of my life. Okay, you don't know what you're talking about. All right, thank you. Have a nice day. You're going to have to get used to other people's unawareness and their self-righteous nature, and their uncanny ability to think they're freaking awesome, and everyone should bask in the glory of their wonderfulness of how much they know, and when in fact they're the ones who actually need help. So wish them a nice day, and just say, I'm sorry, you don't know what you're talking about. Even if it's a doctor or your partner, okay? And start learning to just stop. Okay, if you lose people who claim to be your friends, even family members, I am saying this to you straight out, you might need to start buffering and putting some distance, and you know what I'm saying, like letting them know, okay, you don't know or understand, and so we're not going to discuss that. I love you, but I'm not coming to Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Okay. If they love you, and if eventually they will start to understand. Eventually they can do some research. You see what I'm trying to say? So even if it's freaking family. So these are all things you need to prepare for. Okay, but nowadays it's 2026. There's a lot more known about it. So this is good. Start researching. But these are all things I'm telling you. I mean, I was judged roughly and inappropriately by quite a few people, including people I was very close to. And I lost, air quote, friends because of it. And goodbye. Have a nice... I wish you no ill will. You just stop answering their calls. You just stop talking to them. At some point, maybe become understood, but if it doesn't, it's just like, you did the right thing. I did the right thing. So sometimes I do these posts also for education purposes, and when it comes to fibromyalgia, okay, there's some medications that will be helpful. If you don't really like that, trust me when I tell you, okay, you should at least try when it comes to things like Lyrica or Cymbalta, okay? And it may help your mood stay a little more stable, because depression will hit, because everything the way you used to do, you're up, you're moving, okay, it is gonna have to stop being like that. You're gonna have to slow down. You're gonna have to restrain from trying to pick up speed and going. I mean, it will take you down if you let it. Okay? So that's my personal sharing. For the sake of anybody who knows somebody with fibro, please understand what I'm saying. You gotta take it easy on them and try and do some research, because you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to accidentally be hurtful to them if you can avoid it. Some people care enough. Anyway, and for those who are newly diagnosed, take it from someone who got a diagnosis 20 years ago. And for those who haven't, like, I know, like, yeah, we're not alone though. Okay. Yeah, so that's that for that. And also, I'm gonna make a comment. If my musical brothers, many of them are becoming aware of that, please check in on me more often, gentlemen. Some of you drank the Kool-Aid, and I'm trying to ask angels to angelically get messages and help you become aware of that. Okay, and I was falsely accused of inviting certain parties, and okay, that was not me. Like, and I kept two situations completely separate on purpose. There's a few who will understand what I'm saying. I was forced to do a double carry. Forced. That's unacceptable. It breaks a divine law, is what's happening, planet Earth. And it's horrible. And I want to make sure it never happens to anyone ever again. I don't even care who you are, or what you've done, or how crappy you are, or how not crappy. No one deserves that. So I need everybody, like, you need to start taking it easy on me. And I need physical help right where I am. I'm going to say this name out loud. The one you're looking for is Brent Smith from Shinedown. Needs to be checked every which way through. So if Shinedown stops touring, just be aware that is a likelihood. No, I don't have to tolerate any of that. Yes, two situations I kept them completely separate. I shouldn't have had to. I'm the one owed reparations. Okay, now in terms of the big G and all that, yes, I already knew the difference between little G and big G. And there are some who have the mistaken understanding that for some reason I'm like your underling or something, and I'm working well above your heads. And a lot of you don't have a need to know because it's a burden you can't even understand or carry. Billy Joe Armstrong. I'm sending a warning to Green Day. Okay, I need, especially the U.S. American musicians, please, can you concentrate on certain things? You know, you probably don't have the proper need to know information when it comes to certain things involving the security of our nation, states and territories, okay? Please? Everybody, musicians and friends, Tom DeLong, I get where you're coming from, okay, but you drank the Kool-Aid, Tom, and I know better than you do, and we can't push certain things out into the public because some of them are falsehoods, and you are endangering the lives of those who get intel in certain ways. So can you musicians please just concentrate on just like making good music, please? I'm saying this as a friendly. So he decided in my favor, and I've never set a trap. It's not for me to do. I'm a straight shooter here. I am not a trap, and I do not set traps. So there's that. I mean, there's some more things that I could say, but I'm just going to leave it at that. So, my videos can range in a variety of different ways and subjects. My studio space, I know some of you like it when there's cleavage, the cleavage and the skin. I know. All there. Okay, you understand? Like, none of you have been paying my way or supporting me in a true and real way, and I've been getting attacked inappropriately, and I was forced to do a double carry, and that is breaking a divine law. That's what's happening, Earth. That's what's happening, humankind. So, we're all gonna go the mercy way when it comes to little Dr. Mia. And y'all gonna stop judging. And a large portion of you, I did not ask any of you for advice. And not all science is lies. So I'm going to take my time to slowly heal. But those who did not know, I am telling you now, everything that has to do with me gets checked through Christ. If I am used in a way that breaks a divine law, it activates something that is irreversible. Okay, so love that I got plenty of. Okay, ready? I'm sending. Woo! Everybody, love, receive, love. Come on. Yeah, I'm gonna love on you. I know you curmudgeons. You hockey curmudgeons. You too. You get some. Come on. Everybody, get in here. I'm gonna do some love. I'm throwing it at you. Alright? Just be open to it. Mine doesn't come with any kind of hidden agenda because I don't have time for that crap. Okay? Alright. Have a decent day, people. Practice the patience just a little tiny bit every day. You understand? And some of you need to vent a little more than you are, but there's safe, healthy ways, like take up boxing or, heavy metal. I don't know, like try some things, okay? And some of you are practicing things without your heads covered, and well, that's gonna break your brains. And you're not headed anywhere nice. So maybe this is your opportunity to turn around. Alright. Thanks. Bye.